Good evening. I would like to call the Monday, November 4th, 2024 Dalton City Council meeting to order. Mr. Lama will lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council members, you have before you an agenda. I will entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second. If no discussion, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First will be public commentary. Seeing none, we will move on to presentations from department heads. Do we have any this evening?
There's none this evening, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Council members, item number 2, you have before you minutes from the mayor and council meeting of October 21st. You've had an opportunity to review these. If there are no amendments, I will entertain a motion to accept.
So motion to approve.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 3, under new business, traffic control change, Loveman Lane, no parking both sides. Chad?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This request is to approve no parking on both sides of Loveman Lane, starting at the intersection of Emery Street and Loveman, extending approximately 920 feet north. The police department requested Public Works to study the area mentioned, and our findings yielded extremely limited sight distance when vehicles are parked in the roadway due to the steepness of the road's vertical alignment. We have determined that it is unsafe for vehicles to safely navigate around any vehicle parking in the road. Therefore, we recommend Loveman Lane be posted as no parking for the distance mentioned. This comes with a positive recommendation from the Public Works Committee. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Does this just go, I know Loveman Lane becomes Castle, so does it just apply to Loveman Lane entirely?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And it's just for 920 feet north from the intersection there at Emery and Loveman.
That's the end of Loveman Lane, it's what you're telling me.
It's not the entirety of Loveman, but it's a good
Oh, okay.
portion.
So the signage will just clearly reflect when it's permissible to.
That's correct, yes.
Any other questions of Chad? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Item number 4, fiscal year 2024 budget amendment number 5. Cindy?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you said, this is our budget amendment number 5. For the general fund, it is going to increase our insurance premium tax $232,000. That's how much it came in over what we had budgeted this year. And then we are going to infuse $2 million into the pension plan for a catch-up COLA, as we have discussed. So that is going to decrease our general fund budget $1,768,000. In our CIP fund, there's a $21,000 insurance reimbursement for a police vehicle, and they do plan to replace it. So I'm showing the insurance reimbursement in the CIP fund and then increasing the budget to repurchase the vehicle. I'm setting up our 2024 SPLOST funds. We will start receiving those funds before the end of the year. This just goes directly to the referendum, $26,815,050, $6.3 million are public safety projects, $6 million are recreation projects, and the remainder are public works projects. And our 2020 SPLOST fund, at the last Finance Committee meeting, the Finance Committee agreed to utilize $532,000 of our excess funds to purchase 4 pieces of equipment for public works, and this is just to ratify that in a budget amendment.
Any questions of Cindy? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
you.
Okay, item number 5, resolution 24-16, authorizing sale of land pursuant to 36-37-6 between the City of Dalton doing business as Dalton Utilities and Church on the Hill, Inc.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As you've described, this is a proposed property sale from Dalton Utilities or the City of Dalton, DBA Dalton Utilities, to Church on the Hill Incorporated. As you might be aware, this is an existing established church in the community that has access on Abutment Road. They approached Dalton Utilities about acquiring a strip of land to the south of their property to add some additional parking and circulation around the church for public safety purposes. So again, Church on the Hill sits north of the Dalton Utilities main office building along VD Parrott Parkway and Abutment Road. The state law 36-37-6G authorizes municipal corporations to sell and convey parcels of narrow strips of land and capable of being used independently to abutting property owners where such sales facilitate the enjoyment of the highest and best use of the abutting owner's property. So basically what that law says is you can, if you've got narrow strips of municipally owned land, they can be sold without going through the normal public bidding process under a few conditions. One of those is you've got to notify all adjacent landowners. There was only one other landowner adjacent to this strip, and the offer was made to them as well. They declined that offer, and so Church on the Hill was the only interested party. The law also asks that you ascertain fair market value of the strip to be sold. In this case, the church has agreed to pay $27,500. That number was determined through fair market value appraisals. The total acreage is 2.105 acres. It's about a 50-foot strip of property connecting to VD Parrott Parkway for the purposes of putting a new driveway in to access the church. And I understand they've already Dalton Utilities has been in touch with Public Works Director Townsend to review that. And then the strip along Dalton Utilities property and Church on the Hills property is about 103 feet wide, I think, for a total acreage of 2.105 acres. The condition that the Water, Light, and Sinking Fund Commission put on the church was that they must maintain a 15-foot undisturbed buffer along the northern boundary line of Dalton Utilities property. Based on that condition, the appraisal, the Board of Water, Light, and Sinking Fund Commission did make a recommendation to approve. Since this is a matter of real property that the city owns, the city council has to take this up for final approval. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 6, the reappointment of George Woodward to the Dalton Housing Authority for a 5-year term to expire on 10/14/2029. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
What about item 5?
Yeah, the agenda was republished. We did have an agenda item 5 initially, but it was removed from tonight's agenda in advance of the meeting.
Sorry, I'm reading from the printed copy, so I was,
All right.
okay. Item number 7 is going to be an executive session, and before I entertain a motion to go into executive session, I would share with anyone in the audience that the only business that will remain after executive session before this council will be announcements. If you need to leave, announcements can be found on the printed copies that are in the back. And if at this time, I will entertain a motion for go into executive session.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And this is for what purpose?
For matters of real estate. Thank you.
Where are we meeting? Upstairs or?